Good morning. I just wanted to show you this magnificent site behind me because in a day or two, this area is going to look completely white, covered with white blossoms. And I will show you it when that happens as well. We're going to be talking in the next week or so about something called liminal space. Liminal space is the idea of being in a place between the past and the future when a transition is going on. And I think that's a good topic for us in this period of history. So just keep in mind that my bush that is called Sweet Autumn Clematis is in a liminal space right now, just as we are kind of spiritually in a liminal space. But that's not what that's just a little tiny bit of what I wanted to discuss with you this morning. I'm working on Nuggetbox 2 and the carry-out material you're going to need for the session. And I wanted to clarify a few things. So the first one that is not just about Nuggetbox 2 or the week we're in right now is that on Canvas I've made a practice of marking items that are required for your attention with an asterisk in front of them. You will notice that as the semester goes along, I like to share new resources that I find, and sometimes I just pop them on there because I know they're interesting or beautiful and I care about you. And they are not required. They are bonuses in your care package for me. But if there is an asterisk in front of an item listed on Canvas, you'll know that that means I really want you to read it. If you were 2, you would want to look up at the airplane that's going overhead right now. And you're not 2. And there it goes. Okay, good. So this week we're talking about theories of play and theories of growth and development. And I've made mention of this a little bit earlier, but I wanted to review that part of me being in transition in this time while I'm in this liminal space is that I'm really trying to include theories and theorists that are not just the usual big white guys that we've been hearing about all along. And while you will find on Canvas a document that looks like this, and it's called Theories of Play in Historical Order. It has a lot of interesting ideas that people have put forth about how children play or whether they should be allowed to play. Some of these are just cultural norms at different times in history. Some of these are official. Somebody wrote it down and started studying it and practicing it. But and they are interesting to consider. I've been trying to add new voices and just adding them to the mix, and I want to do that without exploding anybody's brain, but even my head's exploding. But I'm going to point out today the person that I've added in to give some diverse thought, and her name is Cynthia Garcia Cole. She is Puerto Rican. Though she was born in Puerto Rico, she did a lot of, I guess her education happened in mainland USA. She was a professor at Brown University. She might still be a professor there. She's returned to Puerto Rico, and I saw her at a conference online talking about her theory of human development, which is in some ways a rebuttal of the usual guys and my boyfriend Eric Erickson. Her point is that when they talk about predictable developmental stages of humans, that doesn't necessarily apply to every human in every culture. Or if it does apply, it doesn't keep in mind that the families and communities that surround children in certain cultures may be adding benefits to their growth, their intellectual growth, and their overall well-being that aren't taken into account by Erik Erikson or John Dewey or some of the people you're going to be reviewing with me this week. So that's Cynthia Garcia Cole. I've provided an article from her that I'd like you to read. There's only one review question about her in the reading review questions. And this isn't going to be a big struggle for you to master. I just want you to be exposed to her. And then another thing about these theorists is I'm going to provide for you one way of reviewing what they had to say. I think I have mosquitoes here with me, is why I keep looking down and scratching around. But it's so lovely outside. And mosquitoes were included in our meeting right here. So I'm putting this online again. I think you're seeing it over and over again. And I'll give you instructions about how you might use this as a review tool just to get an interesting overall picture of what people have been saying about how children should be allowed to play or not be allowed to play. When you have questions about this on our upcoming quiz in a couple of weeks, you'll be able to look at this. I'm not asking you to memorize the theorists. I am asking you to master the idea that there are a lot of theorists. And I know you already know how to read, so you're okay. So why would I want you to master the idea that there are a lot of theorists? Because we are not all the same, and we can celebrate that. And part of being empathetic and the open-minded kinds of people that we want to be as we tend to diverse families and children is that we're aware that not everyone thinks just like we do. And that's interesting. That is the juicy part. And that might be all I have to say. You can hear crickets, I think, in my background, or they might be cicadas. You can be thinking about that. I don't know who it is, but they're saying happy Saturday morning to you, and I'm saying the same, and bye. I'll see you soon.